Fried chicken has become a religion in America. At this point, every US city has their own beloved local spot, but some places are legendary and stand out above the rest. But today, I want to find the best. I asked you to name America's top fried chicken cities and the absolute best spots in each one. Thousands of votes later, we have our contenders. We're hitting 5 cities, trying our top 3 picks in each to finally crown the fried chicken champion. Starting in
Nashville, our #1 most voted for city.
So we're at Hattie B's on Broadway. This was the #1 most voted for in Nashville. It makes sense, I've been to Hattie B's before, but I'm gonna be honest, it's been a few years. That said, it's a chain. It's grown a lot. So is it still good since the last time I came here?
Wherever available, we'll try to taste the same pieces everywhere. Thigh, breast, leg.
Cheers. Immediately brought me back the first time I came here. That's why this place is such an institution. It's seasoned pretty nicely. I remember there being a little bit more to the flavor of it, but it's still really delicious. The breading itself, crisp. I'm kind of surprised Hattie B's. With the amount of locations, usually quality tends to go down. The chicken's cooked well. The skin, I will say, for some reason, it's a little under-rendered, so therefore kind of chewy. I don't hate it. Tastes great. Rating-wise, flavor, I'm gonna give it like a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's lacking a little bit. Like overall, it tastes good. And then texture, I give it a solid 8.5. But the question is, with the popularization of hot chicken, this is not the only place. Has Hattie B's fallen behind? Moving on. Listen up. America's fried chicken scene isn't made up because it's America. It's because America is a melting pot of multiple cultures all across the globe that have come here to make the greatest fried chicken ever. So don't expect to just see American style fried chicken because we are at SS Guy where we've got Thai fried chicken. You might think, well, Josh, the #1 fried chicken place in Nashville must be hot, right? Nashville hot? No, it's actually this place. It's been rated #1 in all fried chicken spots on Yelp. So let's see how it stacks up. You hear that? The crunch is phenomenal. The seasoning, dare I say, perfect. I mean, the salt levels are like exactly where I want them. The skin isn't chewy, it's crisp but tender, it melts as you chew. There's whole fried shallots on here. So you get little bits and pieces of like sweet, shalloty, caramelized goodness. Let's just get to the rating. Texture. I'm gonna give this, honestly, considering the fact that everything is cooked perfectly, everything is tender, the skin is tender, it's not under-rendered, the crunch is present, and it's not like dry in any part. I'm gonna give a 9. Flavor, I'm gonna be really harsh here. The breading itself is very salty, and there's a little sweetness to it, but I'm not picking up a ton of other layering of flavors like garlic, lemongrass, or whatever you would put in this. That said, the flavor's great. It's very chicken forward. It's seasoned nicely. The salt levels being so good makes a big difference. And I can tell that there are other things in here, like the shallot comes through a little bit, but if you don't get a bite of that shallot, you miss a big part of the component of flavor. So I'm still gonna give the flavor an 8.5. I mean, we're getting close to perfect scores this early on. It's gonna take a real big dog to take this out. Moving on. We're at the original spot of the OG inventor of Nashville hot chicken, Prince's. Now, the fact that we got this was a bit of a miracle. Literally moments after they finished our chicken, they had a huge grease fire and had to completely shut down the restaurant. So we were supposed to get the bone-in chicken thigh and the bone-in chicken breast. Those were lost in the fire, but they still had wings for us to fry fresh. And honestly, I think those are just as good, if not the best option, because they're the fattiest and they're easiest to make delicious. Again, the crunch, really well done. The cook, a little too much. I'm chewing a lot. And even for the wing being that overcooked, that's hard to do, I will say. But this place, way spicier than the previous 2. By far, they do Nashville hot chicken the hottest. That said, the flavor is a little underwhelming. It's missing salt. It's like maybe 70% where I want it to be. The wings, which are fatty, are kind of overcooked. So texture, I think a 6.8. Flavor, it's very much just cayenne. There's not a lot of depth to it. It's missing salt, probably also a 6. I think they're OG, and I think this is a must-try spot. It's just not doing it for me.
Nashville done and dusted, and Thai fried chicken at SS Guy surprisingly leads with a 17.5, but that could change very soon. New Orleans is up next with 2 absolute classic spots and one you'd never expect. First up, Willie Mays.
Now, we were supposed to go to the Scotch House, which unfortunately is recovering from a fire, but they do have a location, Willie Mays NOLA, supposedly stated by Anthony Bourdain to be the greatest fried chicken restaurant in the world. Is it true? I don't know. It's also been recognized by James Beard with the American Classic Award, so it's at least gonna be good. But the question is, does it live up to the standard that it did when Anthony Bourdain tasted it? I've got the same order we've had everywhere else. A leg, a thigh, a breast. First, we'll start with the thigh. Yeah, that's crispy. This is totally different than any fried chicken we've had. It's clearly battered rather than dredged in dry flour. You can tell by this sort of almost like tempura exterior. Super crisp, wispy crunch. I have mixed feelings because it's seasoned really nicely. The salt levels are really nice. The seasoning isn't really like crazy, but I kind of like that. Again, they're focusing on the chickeny flavor. There's a little bit of spiciness in there that I do like though. Texture-wise, the crunch is really wonderful. It's a little bit different of a crunch than I normally want. Let's try the breast. Is it dry? It's perfectly cooked. That is juicy. We're having a little bit of a problem where the breading is just so oily. It's really ruining the experience because the crispiness is beautiful. The chicken is cooked nicely. It's seasoned nicely, but it is so oily I can barely get past it. Like, I don't want another bite. Flavor-wise, I think it's deserving of a 9. Texture, crunch is there. It's cooked nicely, but it's so oily that it's bringing down the rest of the whole experience. I think it's like a 7.9. That said, moving on. We are at a historical marker, not just for chicken, for America. Dookie Chase. I'm gonna go for the thigh first because it's my favorite piece. Classic flour dredge. It's not a batter. I mean, it's crisp. The seasoning is really nice, but there's a little bit of heat from the black peppercorn, but some kick in the pants from cayenne. Not too much, just enough to make it nice. But the flavor of the chicken is prominent. It's not overwhelmed by the spice.
Next up, the breast.
This is incredibly dry and comparatively under-seasoned. The chicken thigh, it's almost like they were breaded completely separately. Like the chicken thigh is salty, it's got umami, and somehow the breast is like completely missing in salt. It's like these were two different people made this texture. The crunch is decent. It's not crazy. It's clearly like quite dry. The only good one was the thigh. I'm gonna give it a 6.9 out of 10. Flavor-wise, I think I'm also gonna give it a 6.8. I would say it's worth hitting for a historical POV, but you're not getting anything above average. You're getting an average plate of fried chicken. Now, here's the thing. Our next spot is unexpected, and it all starts in a place that also sells bongs, a gas station. I don't understand how or why this happened. The third most voted for place in all of New Orleans, Keys. This place is iconic. They're known to have supposedly the best fried chicken in New Orleans. And you know what? I'm actually a big fan of places like this because it always feels like a secret thing. And honestly, it's one of the better looking chickens we've got. Holy shit, Nick. This is phenomenal. What the? It's seasoned perfectly, dude. I'll go for the thigh real quick just to make sure it's consistent. Dude, the crisp on the chicken is excellent. The skin is a little flaccid in some parts, but generally speaking, overall, it's like relatively very crispy. Salt level is maxed out. The seasoning, the spices are nice. It's not overwhelming because I still get that deep chickeny flavor. I don't like when I get a fried chicken that has so many spices on it, all you taste are the spices. I want to taste the spices working with the chicken, marrying the chicken, loving the chicken. This is the true test. If this breast is moist, we could, no joke, have a winner on our hands. Guys, it's moist as it's cooked perfectly. Honestly, the upfront flavor I'm getting is just tons of chickeny umami. But then you have all this other fragrance from like garlic, black pepper, a little bit of paprika. But again, it's not overly seasoned. I taste the true flavor of the chicken, and that is the most remarkable thing to me here. I think the flavor's a 9. The only thing that would make this higher than a 9 would be higher quality chicken. Texture, the parts that were crunchy were absolutely perfect. The parts that were not still had the fat rendered out of the skin. I think I'm gonna give the texture an 8.5. If this gas station was near me, I would go to it all the time.
And a gas station is now tied for the lead for best fried chicken in America. This is insane. But with 3 cities to go, this proves anything can happen. Next up, Chicago.
We're with a good friend, Christopher, Mr. Beef, the man himself, at what some might call the best fried chicken in Chicago, honey butter fried chicken.
We applied the namesake honey butter to our chicken and dug in.
It was very average to me. I grew up with some of the best fried chicken in the world, made by my mom herself. And I'm not using that as a bias. I'm just saying, I know where the bar is.
Sure.
If I'm being honest, I'm just not feeling this place. Like, it's good for a middle of the ground chicken. You're gonna eat this and you'll be able to finish it. You're not gonna go, ugh.
Frankly, the honey butter also didn't really help at all. There's just a lack of crunch and seasoning overall.
The salt levels are almost there. They're like 80% of what I want them to be. Seasoning, I'm tasting some paprika, some garlic, but it's just not prominent for me personally.
My man, Josh, is an honest dude, and that's why I love him. I actually thought it was not too bad. He's got a higher bar. See, Chicago fried chicken is different than South fried chicken. I had this, it wouldn't disappoint, that's for sure.
All things considered, flavor, I'm gonna give it 6.5, slightly above average. Texture, I think it's deserving of also a 6.5, both slightly above average. What's fine is fine, but ultimately, we're looking for the best in America. I'm gonna take this seriously, so I'm rating this a little harshly. Moving on.
Up next is a legendary showdown. Number 3, Uncle Remus takes on Chicago's #1 vote getter, Harold's, both of which are known for a special sauce. Now, we're not necessarily just gonna be judging this by the sauce. Of course, this is all about the chicken, but the sauces do come into play here, just like they do with Nashville Hot. But not in a way that it can get a leg up, because at the end of the day, only great chicken can win here. So let's kick off with Uncle Remus.
This is a variation of mild sauce though. Harold's has their own mild sauce, which is pretty much like the staple mild sauce. Theirs tastes totally different. You're only gonna get this sauce at Uncle Remus.
This is outstanding. I'd leave my wife for this. This is
Honestly, I was iffy going into this because of the sauce. When I see sauce covering fried chicken, my first thought is, that's gonna be soggy. Whatever was going on that was once nice about that is gone. But this, it's a non-issue, like at all.
This is real Chicago West Side food.
This is almost like the American version of Korean fried chicken. Because Korean fried chicken is the only chicken I've ever known to have a shitload of sauce on it and still be crispy. But the breading's nice, the crunch is beautiful, the chicken's cooked perfectly, it's juicy, it's not dry and stringy, the skin is rendered out. It's really sweet. It's a little too sweet for me, but it's balanced balanced by the saltiness of the chicken. I wish there was a little bit more going on with the sauce, but all in all, pretty good. Texture, I'm gonna give 8. Flavor, I think I'm gonna give it an 8.
It's worth being nervous on the fucking stoplight to go and get. It's worth it.
Harold, you're up against something because I got clean bones. Good luck.
Finally, the #1 vote getter in Chicago, Harold's. Can it beat its mild sauce rival, Uncle Remus?
Can you taste the difference in the sauce?
It's similar, but this one's way less sweet. It's more acidic, which I like a lot. What I will say, looking back, is that Uncle Remus's sauce is like pure sugar.
Or diabetes almost in a bottle.
But listen, they're both huge staples in this city.
That said, the sauce here is better. I think you're absolutely right about that. It's got really good acidity to balance out the sweetness. It's not just like, here's a bunch of sugar, you. You get that acidity, you get that depth. It cuts the richness of the chicken so well. Flavor-wise, I wish there was like a tiny bit more salt, 5 to 10% more. I like the seasoning of Uncle Remus just a little bit more. Flavor, okay, so let me explain myself. The sauce is better, but the seasoning is not for me. So I would say 7.5. Texture, I wish there was a bit more crispiness, but at the same time, it's cooked really nicely. The last one was more chewy, and this was like more like cooked through and like tender. So I'm also gonna give the texture an 8. Still crisp, succulent, tender, both great chicken spots. Moving on.
So Uncle Remus steals the Chicago chicken crown, but still stands behind our current leaders, SS Guy and New Orleans gas station. We now move on to our next city, Los Angeles, where we're kicking things off at our #3 most voted for spot, Honey's Kettle. I've heard this place is great. I've never been.
This is not a breading. This is another battered one. Let's start with the thigh. It's so oily, dude.
Let's try the breast.
The breast is super dry. You saw dripping there was actually not juice, it was oil, just to be clear. But you know, the flavor isn't bad. Like the flavor, it's really honestly very chicken forward, which I really like. Salt levels are just about where I want them to be. I would say they're 99% of the way there, maybe 100. But there's not much like seasoning going on. It's just kind of like salty chicken, which I don't hate. So flavor-wise, I'm pretty happy with it. Texturally, like it's okay. Chicken's a little slimy, honestly. This is the same problem as Willie Mays. When you batter it, it's in there for so long that batter really soaks up oil quite a lot. Texture is good, but it's being drawn way down by that oiliness and by that sliminess. So all things considered, I'm gonna give the flavor deserves an 8. It tastes pretty good. Texture, 7. The crunch is phenomenal, but that oiliness, I don't want any more of this. And by the way, by my standards, still quite high, but not a winner. Moving on. We are at possibly one of the most famous American fried chicken spots in the world, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I think everyone somehow has heard this name, and we're at the original location, Los Angeles, Long Beach. A lot of people on Reddit have said this has fallen off. And honestly, looking at this waffle, I am concerned, dude. I'm gonna try everything individually, and then if the chicken is good, I will try it with combinations. It's pretty good. Seasoning is really nice. For comparison, let's try this leg. No breading on the drumstick at all. From a breading standpoint, it's like a 2 out of 10 for the drumstick, but the thigh is almost perfectly breaded. It's a little bit kind of wonky, but like it's crispy, it's crunchy. The salt level is perfect. If I were to just rate salt, I might give it a 10 out of 10. Seasoning's nice. The flavor of the chicken really shines. They're not overwhelming it with seasoning. The classic like garlic powder, paprika. There's nothing too special in there that's really making it stand out flavor-wise, other than it's just like pure salty good chicken. I'll try it with everything on it at this point. Take a piece of chicken out, put a little syrup on there. You put a little hot sauce on it and make kind of a sandwich. Honestly, it made it worse. Completely took away from the chicken. All I taste is maple syrup and hot sauce on a cinnamon waffle, and the chicken's not crunchy anymore. Now it's chewy. This is by far one of the worst waffles I've ever had, but the chicken's pretty damn good.
But we aren't rating it for the waffles now, are we? Time to rate the chicken.
So texture, it's extremely inconsistent. I'm gonna give the texture like a 7 out of 10. Flavor, really quite nice, honestly. I am left desiring more and I don't wanna finish it. So I think I'm gonna give it a 7.9, just almost an 8. Still good. I would come back just for the chicken. I would not come back for the waffles, unfortunately. Moving on. We're at Howlin' Ray's, the #1 voted for spot for fried chicken in all of Los Angeles. I know the chef here, he's a friend of mine. He's absolutely incredible. He worked under Gordon Ramsay, and this guy is a beast. He's basically the one that brought real legit Nashville hot chicken to Los Angeles. I still have to be honest, we have 2 of their chickens. They're country, which is just plain fried chicken. What they're known for is they're hot. We'll try both. Whatever we prefer is what we'll vote on. Cheers. This is insane. That skin is like melts in your mouth. It's super chickeny, seasoned perfectly with salt. Okay, hot chicken. Oh my God. Oh, dude, I smell the heat on this. God damn, that is spicy as but it's so good though. Better, you have that immediate crispy crust. That skin is properly fully rendered. It's just crispy, delicious, melts into nothingness. It's juicy, it's salted really nicely. It's a little spicier than I want it to be personally for me.
This thing was spicy. Vikram didn't believe me and tried a bite.
Wow, oh man.
See what I mean? Yeah, you're gonna poop your pants now. I'm gonna have the hot chicken be the one that enters this competition. I like it a little bit more than the country just because it has that extra bit of excitement. The underside of the crust does get a little soggy sitting on that bread. I'm really looking for intense crunch.
I think 8.4 is fair if you level that out.
Flavor, my mouth is atomic bombed right now, but right out the gate though, in comparison to Hattie B's, the flavor of this, massive margin better. Number one, salt levels, I don't want any more, I don't want any less. It is exactly where I want it to be. The flavor of the spices, the cayenne, the paprika, that peppery, that rich, just unctuous, deep red chili flavor is so present in this. It's like perfuming your whole mouth and your nasal passage. That said, I'm gonna give it a solid 9. I might even give it a higher than a 9 if it wasn't so fucking spicy. Moving on.
Howlin' Ray's just misses the three-way tie for first place. We now have 4 cities wrapped, and we still have a tie for the lead as we arrive to our very final city, Atlanta, for some classic Southern fried chicken, right? Well, yes and no, actually.
Now you come to Atlanta and you're probably thinking like Southern style fried chicken, buttermilk, OG, right? But this is getting a ton of buzz on Reddit. So we're here for Peruvian chicken. Las Brasas. Pollo frito. It looks great. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think this might be the crispiest chicken we've had so far. And it's got acidity to it too. How juicy the meat is gonna determine how I feel about the overall texture. So first we'll go for the easiest one, which is the leg and thigh. The thigh is juicy, it's cooked nicely. I will say like, this is clearly fried longer to make it crispier, maybe even double fried. But look at this, the meat gets a little bit crispy too, which I don't hate, but it is adding some chewiness that I don't know if I love. This is gonna be the real test. Chicken breast. It's a little dry. Oh man, and you know what? The second you get into the meat, that seasoning goes. This is missing a lot of salt on the inside. If this was seasoned properly, this could be a genuine contender. The outside of this chicken, almost a perfect score. Flavor, crunch, texture, and like it's salty. I think it's because they straight up put tahini on the outside, which is genius. It goes super good with this chicken. But then as soon as you get into the meat, like all that salt and flavor is gone. There's just no flavor in the meat at all. The breast is a little dry. The thigh and the leg are great. Overall flavor, I'm still gonna give a 7 out of 10 because it is delicious. It is really good. I would finish this. Texture, the crunch is like a 10 out of 10, I shit you not. This is like about as perfectly crispy as I've ever had chicken in my life, but as soon as you get in there, that meat's a little overcooked across the board. The hard thing about fried chicken is you want to achieve the crisp without losing the moisture on the inside, and they lost a little bit of the moisture. So I'm gonna give it a 7.5 out of 10 because it's so beautifully crunchy. Moving on.
Next up, one of the most known fried chicken spots in America, Gus's.
It was a high vote getter for almost every city. This originated in Memphis, but it didn't get any votes in Memphis. Matter of fact, it was number 2 on our highest voted for Atlanta. And I've actually never had it. Somehow I've managed to avoid it. Everyone's told me, you gotta go to Gus's. Question is it really as good as everybody says it is? I will say it looks a little clapped, like it's not a very flaky fried chicken, but I guess that's because it's a batter. You're gonna get a different look. It's juicy as It's cooked nicely, the skin's rendered so you don't have that chewy skin. The crunchiness is there, it's seasoned really well. It's a little spicy, it's got umami, it's salted nicely. This is one of the first chickens I'm like tasting the spice in it. And by spice, I don't mean spicy. I mean like the paprika, the garlic, the black pepper notes. Texture's great, but how did they do on the chicken breast? For a chain, not bad. I will say it is kind of dry. There is a juiciness to it too. It's not all dry. I've definitely had far drier. That said, crunch. It's definitely crunchy, it's definitely crispy. It's losing a little bit on the dryness factor. I think the texture is deserving of an 8. It's pretty good. Flavor, it's up there. Salt levels are perfect. It doesn't need any more or less salt. Seasoning's nice. I love the spice level. Honestly, I think flavor I'm gonna give an 8.7. Not bad, Gus's, not bad. It doesn't put you in a first place hold, but if you have a Gus's near you, maybe go check it out. That said, not a winner. Moving on.
With one spot remaining, we still have a tie for first place between 2 unlikely contenders. New school Thai fried chicken in Nashville and chicken from a literal gas station in New Orleans. Either we're gonna end up seeing a gas station take the greatest fried chicken crown in America, or we're gonna have a big upset today.
We were in the parking lot of probably the most iconic fried chicken spot in America. MLK has been here. It is the #1 voted for in Atlanta as well, Busy Bee. I gotta say, it does look pretty good. I'm gonna start with the thigh. Phenomenal. I will say, as you chew, it's missing a little flavor, but then boom, then the flavor starts to kick in a little bit. You get a little bit of that MSG, the umami, the richness of the spices. And honestly, it's not super pepper forward. It's a little bit more like garlic. Some of the fried chickens we've had have been like more paprika, more peppery, more cayenne. This is more like black peppercorn, garlic. Flavor-wise, top tier. Texture-wise, I wish there was a bit more crunch. I'm not mad. Let me try the breast. Is the breast moist? Crazy moist. When you go to a fried chicken spot, the first thing you'll commonly notice is it's easy to make the legs and thighs succulent and delicious and not dry, but the breast has no fat, so it goes dry real fast. This is moist. It's literally perfectly cooked. I gotta say, I'm kind of shocked. With how long this place has been here, it's crazy that they've maintained this standard. Most places could not do that.
It all comes down to this. 15 chicken spots across 5 cities, and the best of the best voted by you, the audience. Will this spot take the crown?
Flavor-wise, honestly, I think it's a 9. Texture,
Busy Bee needs an 8.6 or higher on texture to win it.
everything's cooked perfectly. If the crunch were better, I would give it a 9, but because the crunch is kind of missing a little, I'm gonna give the texture an 8.8. 8.
And that's a 17.8, which means Atlanta's Busy Bee is the best fried chicken in America.
I wish I had come here sooner. I would even argue eating this right away, my first thought is, this is exactly what embodies a perfect American fried chicken. It's breaded nicely, it's crispy, it's crunchy, it's unctuous, umami, rich, but it's not overpowering. And it's this unassuming building you would never realize. You could drive right by this and have no idea you're driving past the greatest fried chicken in America.
Hey, wow, that's the end of the video. Please subscribe. We got some crazy stuff coming. Some of the crazy stuff I've ever done in my life. Love you so much. All right.